Testing 1 2 1 2. My fault. I had an issue with the audio a minute ago. Um, I don't know why the hell that happened, but that's something that I did wrong. But shout out to everybody. Of course, as you can see and you can hear, Suge Knight has been sentenced officially to 28 years in prison. Suge Knight has been officially sentenced to 28 years in prison. We knew that he possibly could get 28 years in prison, but today he has been officially sentenced to 28 years in prison. Yeah, that's my fault. I forgot to cut something on. My fault. So, I reported this before. We thought that he could get 28 years in prison, up to 28 years in prison, but now he's definitely getting 28 years in prison. He's been officially released today. So, he's 53 years old. Even if he gets 10 years, that means he'll get out when he's 63. Shit, if he get 5 years, he'll get out when he's 58. That shit is still old. That shit is still old to me. So, I guess he copped out. It's light at the end of the tunnel in his mind state, I guess. But shit, 28 years is a long time. And I'm not gonna say free Suge Knight. I'm not gonna say none of that crazy shit like that, cause somebody passed away, somebody is dead. Honestly, he took the time, so he definitely is copping out to it. So according to the reports of NBC News today, a Los Angeles judge today sentenced disgraced music mogul Suge Knight to 28 years in prison for a fatal hit and run, bringing the curtain down on one of the most successful careers in hip hop. The 53-year-old icon must be locked up for nearly 3 decades for killing one man and injuring another when he ran over them at a Compton burger stand in 2015. So he's been in prison for 3 years already for the situation. By pleading no contest to voluntary manslaughter, Knight avoided a murder trial and a possible life sentence. Whoa, 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 whoa. The deadly January 29, 200, I'm saying 200. The deadly January 29, 2015 confrontation at Tam's Burger was caught on surveillance camera showing Knight backing up his pickup truck over Claiborne Sloan before going forward and plowing into Terry Carter, who was 55, a longtime businessman who built custom lowriders. Knight then drove off and Carter died from his injuries. So, unfortunately, we seen somebody pass away. We seen somebody die from that. According to other reports, the dude Bone is actually maimed. I don't know what maim mean, but he has some type of injuries from what happened to him. So it's just fucked up all around the board. What's happening with this whole situation. There is no clear winner in this. A life was lost, a legacy was lost. The fucked up shit about the whole death row thing is that we just seeing the whole demise, everything that came from that. And it's funny when you name your company certain things, and the name of your company is Death Row Records, and you have to be very, very, very careful with those situations, because you naming your shit Death Row Records, and a lot of people didn't escape that situation alive. Tupac is gone. Suge Knight is locked up for a long time. Nate Dogg is dead. Dr. Dre seen what was going on and he jumped shipped. He jumped ship early. He was like, yo, I'm getting the fuck out of here. Dr. Dre was pretty smart. And of course, they hit him off to get the fuck away from Suge. And he took that bread. But unfortunately, man, Suge Knight, what we know and we loved about Suge Knight, and what we know and we love about Death Row Records is just all the memory. We have to be careful, man. We have to be careful. One of the outlaw members is definitely got killed too. So we have to be. Daz Dillinger, yes, Daz just went to jail for some drug charges, which I think he'll probably won't really do too much time off of, because it was weed. But regardless, you have to be careful with the names. You have to be careful what you conjure up. You have to be careful with the spirit that you walk around with, because you just invoke certain things. And shout out to my homeboy Rafiq, who called me yesterday, and he said some real shit to me. He said, "Yo, bro, it's 2018. You know, when my homeboy Rafiq has a clothing line called Black Cotton Premium Threads, also called Trap, but it's not the trap, the drug thing. It's the trap to rise above poverty, but it's not trap drug thing. It's not that. So he just used it as an acronym. But what the funny thing about it is that he said to me, bro, it's 2018. If you still walking around in 2018 trying to front and trying to act like you some type of gangster and you some gang dude and you survived the 90s and the late 80s, then you a idiot in the 2000s. If you survived that and in 2018 you still trying to be a gangster and tell stories of all the gang shit you did and how you did this and did that, you an idiot. Because you should be happy and you should be, thankful that you survived a lot of that shit. And that shit is just real shit to me. So we like a lot of the old stories. It's good to, good talking points and all that. But you have to be careful with the names. You have to be careful with the spirits that that you deal with. I mean, shit with Bad Boy is the same thing. The shit is Bad Boy, but Bad Boy is plural though. I mean, Bad Boy is singular. My fault. Bad Boy is singular. So when somebody say bad boy, that means one boy is bad. And you could take a guess who that bad boy might be, because everybody that's associated with Bad Boy didn't do too well after the fact. And you know what's fucked up too? How Bad Boy Records and Death Row Records is synonymous. It's just like one and the same. You can't mention one without the other. And that's unfortunate that when it comes to our people, that it's always some type of competition. Like many of us can't survive and exist in the same space. It always has to be one or the other, and there's always some type of, you got to take this person out. That's just kind of crazy to me. You know what I'm saying? That's very, very, very unfortunate that happens like that. So it's like you got Bad Boy Records on one end, you got Death Row Records on the other end, and they gotta collide for supremacy. And the supremacy that they're colliding for and what they're fighting over is just all really some nigga shit. You know what I'm saying? It's not even a battle to, help people and not, change people's lives. It's like battling to see who's the realest niggas. And when you think about that term, real nigga, that's one of the most oxymoronic statements that ever could be made, or any terms that could, a real nigga. Because what is a real nigga? Because the word nigga just has a lot of negative connotations with it. So how could you be a real nigga? If you a nigga, ain't nothing real about you. So when we all just living this life to be real niggas, and I'm the realest nigga, and it's like, yo, that's the stupidest shit. That's like saying, yo, I'm the smartest dummy. You know what I'm saying? I'm the smartest dummy. I'm the cleanest, funkiest person you know. You know what I'm saying? That shit doesn't make any sense. So we fighting, they keep putting us in these situations where we're fighting over nothing while they sit back and watch us fight, and we keep doing it. And look at the end result of all of this. Tupac, dead. Biggie, dead. Suge Knight, in jail. So many people are gone behind that shit. And when you think about that time, everything that happened from that time, them 90s, that 94, 95, 96, 97 shit is fucked up. Like, so many lives have gotten damaged from that time. 28 years in prison. How could you be a man that has a record label that's worth $300 million? You're making $300 million in a year, $100 million in a year. You're on Forbes, you're on all this shit, and now you in prison for the rest of your life. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's not what that ain't what I see for myself. That's not what I see for myself. I don't think about that shit. I don't say, yo, I want to get all this money and have all this fame and notoriety, and then I'm dead. Cause think about it. Biggie's run was only 3 years. It seemed like Biggie was rapping for a long time, but it was only 3 years. He came out in '94, but by '97 he was dead. You know what I'm saying? He came out in '94. By '97 he was dead. It was only 3 years. It was over. He was gone, dead. And then Suge Knight definitely, he got it. Like, he did 9 years in prison, for parole violation, and it's just like you just keep being in a situation where you keep putting yourself in a situation to where you can lose your life, or you can, go to jail, and you just keep doing that shit all because you have a reputation to protect and something to uphold, and that shit is crazy. You know what I'm saying? That shit is crazy. You got all this, you had all that money, all that power, all that notoriety, all the people that you was able to employ, change their lives, get your homies out the streets, all parole, and all that shit is gone now. Gone, no more. But again, when you name your company Death Row Records, and when you have this image, and especially in 2018, you have this image of, yo, I'm this real nigga. I do this, I do that, I do that. Yo, that shit gonna eventually catch up to you. It's eventually going to catch up to you. Now, it's a story to be told. Everybody has a story to be told, so I don't want to get this misconstrued that people shouldn't tell their story. But your story should be told from a standpoint of what you used to do, not opposed to what you're doing in 2018. And you have to be telling people the cons of what you did and how you paid and the losses you took, because nobody like to talk about the losses. Everybody want to act like it was all hunky-dory and the wins that they took, but nobody's projecting these losses. And 28 years in prison, a lot of people that you knew dead, a lot of money lost, all the homes, all the cars, all the people that affected, that is definitely a loss. That's a loss. They run wasn't even that long. Death Row run wasn't even that long. What they got, they really running like, you say 92, 93. By the time 96 came, Tupac was dead. And then after Tupac died, it was pretty much it. Once Dre left, it was it. So they had maybe a 4-year run. Death Row Records had maybe like a 4-year run. Biggie had like a 3-year run. Biggie came out in 94. By 97, he was dead. So, you have to, I'm saying all this to say, for all the young dudes that's coming out there, I know it's cool to be gang, 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 gang. I know it's cool to have all the homies. I know all that shit is cool, but you setting yourself up for your demise. Biggie came out in 94. His album dropped in 94. His album didn't come out in 93. The album came out in 94. So, at the end of it all, I'm just saying to everybody out there, even if Suge Knight gets out of jail and he makes parole or whatever the case may be, it's still over. It's over. What you once knew of Suge Knight, it's over. The music, the money, the fame, the notoriety is over. And for what? What's the end result? What's the end result? You know what I'm saying? What's the end result? There is no end result. There is no end result, and shit, the victim, we was talking about the victim, rest in peace to Terry Carter. That's why I won't say free Suge Knight, because at the end of the day, he is responsible for somebody dying. So you don't say free somebody that killed somebody. You know what I'm saying? You don't say fucking you don't you don't say free somebody. You know what I'm saying? That definitely responsible for somebody's death, especially if he's taking responsibility. You know, so that shit is unfortunate. I mean, shit. At the end of it all, Dr. Dre is doing what he's doing. Snoop is with Martha Stewart, doing what he's doing, smoking his weed. So it's just it's crazy, man. It's crazy that what's happening, and you know all the young guys that's coming in the game, and you looking at these guys who had it in the 90s, the mid 90s and early 90s. Look at the end result for what they did. Look at the end result of what's happening. And I don't have nothing against gang members. I don't have anything wrong. Um, I mean, I don't find anything wrong with any of that. I think it's cool because a lot of times, a lot of brothers and individuals, that's how they, that's how they bond. So I don't have it, but the end result has to be something positive, and you definitely have to be taking all of those experiences in your gang and your brotherhood and making it something positive. You can't just make it some negative shit, and just making it negative, because what happens is this is the end result. Because at the end of it all, we can't knock Suge. Suge did employ a lot of people. He did help a lot of people, but he also, you know, hurt a lot of people. And then the end result is, that's it. The name of your record label is Death Row. And basically, you got a death sentence in prison. So it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. I actually am an individual. I never met Suge Knight personally. I do have a death row running story that I'll probably tell one day, but not today. But I do have a story with Tupac and death row entourage running at the MTV Music Awards, and it's funny because Tupac ended up going on to get killed like 3 days later. I'll tell it one day, but not right now. But you think about how messed up that time was, because we felt like we had to we felt like, being a New Yorker and being from Brooklyn, we definitely felt like we had to be against the West Coast and be against death row and all that shit, man. And I just really just liked the music. I just really wanted to hear the music. I didn't want to get into hating a black man or black woman or a black child because where they lived at. I just thought that shit was so damn stupid then. It's stupid now. And just think about how everybody got played out of that situation. All that shit, everybody got played. Because look at the end result for everybody. Like, once people start dying, once people are dead, that's when shit change. It's not the same. Once people start dying, it is not the same anymore. You know what I'm saying? Once the cops is called, once all that shit happened, it is not the same anymore. Once the that start happening, shit is different. And all that shit because at the end of it all, black men getting millions of dollars, millions of dollars, and just squandering it. That shit is crazy. Squandering, all that shit is gone. All that shit is gone. When you look at death row, you could look at all these, all these individuals that was on death row, from RBX, and all of them are just telling stories, of horror stories about where they was at and what they was involved in, and there was so much money and so much greatness to be done, but ego and lack of knowledge and power just really, really, really had people just doing all types of stupid shit and crazy shit, and it just ruined everything. So that's why, like, in 2018, 2019, 2017, how I carry myself, I be mindful of a lot of that. I be like, yo, man, this shit crazy. You know what I'm saying? This shit crazy. How you could get so much money, how you really could take care of yourself, your family, employ people, and then you fucking just being an idiot or being egotistical or out there just bugging out. You could lose everything and go to jail forever and people dying. When, listen, you get money to get out of the street. You don't get money to show how street you are. You know, you get money to leave all that shit. You get money to help your community. You get money to help, your people, your family, your loved ones. You don't get fucking money to straight up and down be a idiot and be out in the street. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people did that, and it's fucked up. It's fucked up because the music industry became the new hustle. So a lot of dudes who was hustling got into the music industry because they started seeing bread that was being made. Because it's the same thing like with the podcasting game right now. You see a lot of people doing podcasts because, oh shit, that's the new hustle. Oh, he did it and he's successful. I'm gonna do it too. So it's gonna be an oversaturation with that soon. You're gonna see a lot of former rappers just be podcasters now. And it's gonna be oversaturated, and everybody gonna look at it all like it's whack. That's just what happens. Same thing with fashion. Same thing with everything. This is just what happens in this shit. And then we all forced to compete with each other, and then we just all start hating each other, and we all start having issues with each other while somebody's making all the bread, laughing at us, and we out in the street want to fight each other, shoot each other, and kill each other over nothing. The same thing happened with YouTube. You see so many YouTubers getting on their YouTube, dissing each other, making 100 videos about each other. I'd be like, yo, man, what is this shit about? Because I don't think about getting up in the morning every day going at, another man. I don't go to sleep with another man on my mind or wake up with another man on my mind. I don't give a fuck what they say about me. Say what you want to. Who gives a fuck? None of that shit is true. So I don't feel like I have to, fight every day. You know what I'm saying? I don't have to get up and fight every day. I just want to be able to do what I want to do, take care of myself, take care of my loved ones, my family, and create, people, create new opportunities for people. That's why my podcast network is about really just signing people who really, really want to do this shit and love doing this shit and giving them opportunities. That's what it's all about. When you get in a power position, you do this shit to help people. You don't do this shit to become a menace and a nuisance to the society that you trying to help. You don't empower people to be fucked up. You know what I'm saying? And that's what's going on. You know what I'm saying? That's what's going on with a lot of situations, and it's fucked up when you look at it. Suge Suge is definitely was definitely influential. Because Death Row was very, very, very successful. Let's not forget. We're not gonna act like that was just a regular ass record label, and we're not gonna act like he didn't do all he could and help Dr. Dre. We ain't gonna act like he ain't help Dr. Dre, and like I stated in my last one, we ain't gonna act like he didn't help Dr. Dre, and we ain't gonna act like he didn't save Interscope. So a lot of people ate off of the house that Suge Knight built via Harry O, via other people, So it is what it is. Damn, I need some tea or some shit like that. When the New York weather changes, that shit start fucking with you. You know what I'm saying? In New York, it's starting to get a little cool out. But I'm gonna go out and ride my bike for a little while, and that's what it is. So yeah, I just wanted to touch base with y'all really quick. Suge Knight has been officially sentenced to 28 years in prison. Of course, we were talking about he could get 28 years in prison, but he has been officially sentenced to 28 years in prison. So let that be a lesson to many of us. Let that be a lesson to to us and lead this motherfucking you know, leave this street shit alone. You know, don't be out here trying to be no fucking goon and no gangster and all this stupid shit. You know, you are who you are. If you did what you did, you know, it is what it is. You know, you handle yourself as a man, as a woman, but all that trying to front, you know, that shit is crazy. So with that, I'm about to get the fuck out of here. I will be back later on. I got a lot of things that I'm working on. Sonny Hyam, you said the realest shit. We too old for that corny street shit. Yo, I feel the same way, man. A lot of things I speak about from the perspective of what happened. But I mean, it is a lesson, because the lesson is it's the energy. The energy. Even if you defending yourself, you wouldn't have to defend. This is what I want to say before I do go. Because many people could look at the video and Big Dog Status, shout out to you for saying that. It's not a lesson. Suge was defending himself. But I do want to say this before I go, because this is very, very, very important. Many times we might be in a situation where we have to defend ourselves and do something that causes harm to someone else. And it is where we're defending ourselves. But it's the energy that you put forth. It's the energy that you walk around with. And sometimes you at the wrong place at the wrong time, and you don't have to be there. You don't have to leave your house sometimes. And you go places where you know it's a possibility that you might have to get it on. Now, it's not like you coming home from work and you get into instance with somebody and you have to harm somebody and you go to prison for harming somebody because you was just on the train or you was just riding. When you go somewhere, when you go to the situation and something happens, you went there, and you went there with that energy. So a lot of time it's the energy that a lot of men and women walk around with that causes their own demise. It's that energy. If you walk around with peace and you walk around pleasant and you walk around with a smile on your face, a lot of times that shit won't come to you. But when you walk around with that scowl and you have that reputation, that energy is going to be there. And the shit that you have to deal with based off of what you put out in the world, you gonna get that shit back. So I don't believe in walking around with that energy. Now, I walk around, always ready to protect myself. All men and women should. But I don't walk around ready to be the aggressor. I don't walk around saying, yo, if this shit happen, I'm killing everybody out here. I don't walk around like, yo, I'm going to goddamn Starbucks and, yo, they didn't want black people in here. So if I go in here and they treat me like that, I'm tearing this place up. No. You don't walk around like that. You don't walk around like you listening to MOP all day. You know what I'm saying? You don't walk around like that, because once you know better, you do better. We grown. We don't have no excuses. We're not children. We're not little boys. We're not little girls. We know better. So it's the energy that you walk around with. Suge Knight went to that place, and when he went to that place, it was a lot that could have came with that, and he could have fucking stayed home. He didn't have to go there. And him going there with a certain energy and somebody else feeds off that energy and shit happen, that's it. The end result is the end result. Think about this. When you leave your crib every day, and for people who found themselves in unfortunate situations, when you left your house, how many times did you say, I should have just kept my ass in the house? I should have never came out here. I should have never came here. I should have never came here. Look what the hell is going on. So that's what be happening a lot of times. So see, me, a lot of times, when I get a bad vibe, I be like, yo, I ain't going nowhere. I'm in the crib. I'm playing the crib. People like, yo, you popping out? Nope. I'm going to be right in the crib. I'm not fucking with it. I ain't missing nothing. I'm not missing nothing. Being in my crib safe, being away from bullshit is okay with me. I'm not missing anything. Because once you start hearing, I don't belong there. Once you in the back of the car, I should have just stayed home. So if any, a lot of times I say, when people say, yo, you come in, I say, yo, do I gotta bring a gun? They be like, I don't know. Well, I don't need to be there. You know what I'm saying? I don't need to be there. You know what I'm saying? I do not need to be there. So with that, I'm Doggie Diamonds. Part me on the audio. I realize what I have to do when I start. Somebody Lola Rice said club home, right? Yeah. I'm at disco bedroom and shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm in the club, pop out at kitchen lounge and shit, living room lounge. Yo, where you at? Nah, I'm at living room lounge and shit, chilling, watching Netflix. You know what I'm saying? Where you at? Oh, I'm in club in my bed and shit. You know what I'm saying? So with that, I'm out of here. I'll be back on here later on and shit. I got some people that I'm gonna interview later on. I'm gonna bring them on live. So that's what it is. Again, make sure you subscribe to this channel. Make sure you like this video. Make sure you like the video. You know, you hit the button to like right next to the subscription. Like the video. Make sure you subscribe to the video, and the bell is right next to the subscribe button. So when you hit that bell, every time I come on, you'll get the notifications. And if you like what I'm doing here and you feel the need that you want to help me and you want to donate, all the donate links is in the description box. I take interviews. I take PayPal. I be reading shit and then talking at the same time. But I take PayPal. I take Cash App. I take everything. All those links is in the description box. You can also buy official Doggie Diamonds merch. That's in the description box. So make sure you go in the description box, and that's what it is. Lachelle, what do you ask me? You gonna interview washed up rappers this week? I don't even know what you're talking about. I don't even know what you're talking about. I don't even know what a washed up rapper is. You know what I'm saying? I don't even know what you're talking about. Don't get on my fucking nerves either. But with that, I'm out of here. Peace.